Welcome back, everyone. Here we are. We have Modern Horizons 2 set review. We're on black this time. Starting off, let's just appreciate the beautiful old border plague engineer. Anyway, starting off, we have Break the Ice, which is, of course, a sinkhole that destroys target land that is snow or could produce colorless mana. The fact that this card is only for snow or lands that produce colorless mana, I think it makes it fine to exist in modern. I also think it makes it almost not playable. Like, is the fact that it can only hit Tron specifically for the most part worth sideboarding it, because it is so much better than like Fulminator Mage because it comes down on turn 2. I don't know. I have to say, I'll probably still play it against Tron the first couple days, but that's just me. Then we have Violent Tumor, 4 mana, Death Touch. When it enters battlefield, you entomb a creature, you put it in the graveyard. I don't know. I think the fact it costs 4 mana makes me not like this card very much. I get they're trying to fix Entomb because it's super powerful, but Sudden Edict, split second, target player, sacrifice the creature. I think this card is so close to being good. Almost there. The fact that it says target player, to me, makes this card just not good enough. I would rather play any of the edicts that, if I'm going to play an edict effect, I want to play the edict effects that don't target my opponent, like Liliana's Triumph. So, I don't think this card's good enough. I think they had a chance. I don't think making a split second each opponent sacrifice a creature would be too much. Or, yeah. Or like your opponent to the left, your opponent to the immediate, the closest to the left. That way, like commander words, that way it could be not quite as maybe ridiculous as split second each opponent sacrifice. I don't know. I don't think split second each opponent sacrifice the creature is too good, but then again, I don't play much commander or other multiplayer formats, so. Necrogoyf power is equal to the number of creature cards in all graveyards. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player discards a card. Madness 3. I think this card's okay. I mean, cool flavor. A little expensive for 5 mana, but I get it. Dothi Void Walker. This card's pretty cool. I really like this. It has Shadow, which is which means it can only be blocked by creatures with Shadow. Card to be put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere. Instead, exile it with a Void counter on it. Sacrifice this creature. Choose a exiled card an opponent owns with a Void counter on it. You may play it this turn without paying its mana cost. I like this card a lot. I think double black is a great cost for this. Super powerful effect. I like it. And it's gonna be an expensive card. Magus of the Bridge. I think this card is pretty bad. But it is bridge from below on a creature. So of course, while it's in play, whenever a non-token creature is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, make a 2/2 zombie creature token. Into your graveyard, yeah. Goes into your opponent's graveyard, you exile Magus of the Bridge. Yeah. Obviously you're playing this card for its first effect, but yeah. Sinister Starfish, tap Surveil 1, Echoing Return, return target creature card, and all other cards with the same name as that card from your graveyard to your hand. Cards, whatever. Alright, now we get to the good stuff. So we have Archon of Cruelty, flying. Whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, target opponent sacrifices a creature or planeswalker, discards a card, and loses 3 life. You draw a card and gain 3 life. This card is great. I think this card is probably the best non-legendary reanimation target. I really like it. I think it's going to be a good card. Then we have Grief. Of course, this is one of the first cards that was spoiled. One of the big ones. Menace enters the battlefield. Thoughtseize your opponent. And you can evoke it by exiling a black card from your hand. I expect this card to be very, very powerful. And very, very fun. Torok Dread Cantor. 2 mana plus double black kicker. Protection from white. Whenever opponent discards a card, put a +1/+1 counter on Torok Dread Cantor. Whenever it enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, target opponent discards 2 cards at random. So basically, you're paying 4 mana for a 2/2 body or 2/1 body, and well, I guess technically, what 3/4 body, 4/3 body. Yeah, 4/3 body, and then discarding 2 cards random. I think it's okay. Yeah, I think it's okay. That's where I'm going to leave it. Braids Cabal Minion. Beginning of each player's upkeep, that player sacrifices an artifact, creature, or land. This card's pretty cool. Maybe it could see some kind of play in Smallpox. I don't know, though. One of my favorite cards in the set is Damn. On its face value, it is a Terminate, basically. But it has Overload for 2 white. And it becomes Damnation, basically. Or Wrath of God, if you prefer. Patriarch's Bidding. Each player chooses a creature type. Each player returns all cards of the chosen type this way from the graveyard to the battlefield. Pretty cool. Yeah, I like it. We have Persist. Return target non-legendary creature card from a graveyard to the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it. Or -1/-1 counter on it, sorry. And then Unmarked Grave. Search your library for a non-legendary card. Put that card in the graveyard, then shuffle. Like both these cards a lot. Definitely going to try to play in a lot of decks with them. Archfiend of Sorrows, flying. When it enters the battlefield, creature opponent control get -2/-2 until the end of the turn, and has Unearth. Meh, I don't think this card matters. Bone Shredder, kind of cool to have this card in Modern, but again, I don't think it's going to do much. I mean, I guess it could be good in a black Ephemerate deck, maybe, but I don't know. It's tough to say. Clattering Augur. It can't block. Whenever it enters the battlefield, you draw a card and lose 1 life. And then it has return from your graveyard to your hand. This card's actually kind of good. I don't think it's going to be great or anything, but although I think the fact that it's a skeleton, not a zombie, makes it significantly worse, actually. Feast of Sanity. Whenever you discard a card, Feast of Sanity deals 1 damage to any target and you gain 1 life. Interesting card. A little expensive at 4 mana, but interesting. Play Essence. Exile target creature or planeswalker, you gain life equal to number of counters on it. Oh, if this wasn't a sorcery, that card would be great. I think it's still fine as a sorcery. We got Greed, pay 2 life, draw a card. Legion Vanguard, pay 1, sacrifice another creature. Legion Vanguard explores. Basically explore, you look at the top card of your library. If it's a land, it goes in your hand. If it's a non-land, you get to choose to either put it in the graveyard or leave it on top. And when it's a non-land, you get +1/+1 counter. Necromancer's Familiar, flying, Hellbent, has lifelink as long as he has no cards in your graveyard, or your hand rather, and you can pay black, discard a card, gains indestructible until the end of turn, and you tap it. Again, a little expensive 4 mana, but fine. Radiant Epicure, Converge, each opponent loses X life, you gain X life, where X is the number of colors, and it's meant to play the spell. That card's pretty cool, I think. Don't think it'll see play, but I think it's pretty cool. Skirk Familiar, flying, discard a card, add black to your mana. Cool. Kind of cool. Phyrexian Imp. That's pretty sweet. So we got Bone Shards, additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a creature, discard a card, destroy target creature or planeswalker. That card's pretty good. Kind of hate that it's a sorcery, but it's really good. Young Necromancer. So we got Young Liliana, it looks like. Whenever Young Necromancer enters the battlefield, you may exile 2 cards from your graveyard. When you do, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Sweet. Underworld Hermit. Underworld Hermit enters battlefield. Create a number of 1/1 green squirrel creature tokens equal to the devotion to black. That's kind of weird, but okay. World Weary. 5 mana enchantment. Enchant creature gets -4/-4. Or you can basic land cycle it. Torok's Canticle. Sorcery. Target player reveals their hand. You choose a card from it. That player discards that card, then discards a card at random. I think Torok himself is a much better homage to the original Hymn to Torok than this card ever could be. And then we have Kitchen Imp, Flying Haste, and Madness. Kind of interesting with the Madness cost. Could see it going places. In Discerning Taste, look at the top 4 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand and the rest in the graveyard. You gain life equal to the greatest power among creature cards put in your graveyard this way. I think this card is really nice. Being able to filter your cards, draw basically 4 cards deep, and put some in the graveyard while keeping one in your hand is really good. Plus gaining life, that just all makes it, I think, worth 3 mana. I really, really like it. So that's the black cards. So far, again, like I said in the other videos, I don't think the set's fully spoiled yet. I think we're still a little bit away, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button. If you want to see more videos of this, go to the subscribe button. And yeah, thanks for tuning in.